Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, gamers. Okay, so I'm actually gonna write a script for this one. We'll see how this turns out, but the new Batman movie was pretty good. I know doing reviews is something I do pretty rarely, but I wanted to make this one of the other main series on the channel other than the Goofy Du Bois videos, so it'd be really cool if you liked and subscribed. Initially, I was skeptical of this movie. It's like our 6th on-screen Batman, and Robert Pattinson, while being a pretty decent actor, wasn't really who I pictured to be Batman, and much less Bruce Wayne. We open with the city in chaos. Thievery is rampant, and we see criminals look into the shadows, fearful of the brutality of the Bat. I like this look into the mentality of the criminals. I like how they're scared. Like, they're genuinely scared. Like, it shows us the true fear when they look up at the sky and they see the bat signal, knowing that he's looming in the darkness of Gotham streets. We finish on a small gang with a kid who's being initiated into the gang, and then boom, the motherfucking Batman walks out of the shadow and brutally beats down one of the thugs. Holy shit, I need to talk about this bat suit, because not gonna lie, that shit's clean as hell. Like, goddamn, fucking look at him! He's got some kind of like metal or like studded leather armor on, and like he's wearing like a cowl that actually looks like a fucking helmet that protects you from a gunshot. It's like he's wearing actual combat gear. Anyway, he beats the fuck out of this thug, and then he says, "I am vengeance." And this is kind of setting up our first theme of the movie. With him being brutal and violent. But this is pretty much our first taste of Batman in this movie, and I fucking love it. He really feels like that crazy guy in a bat costume that uses his persona to scare criminals off the streets of Gotham. In this movie, he's only been Batman for 2 years, and you can really feel it in Robert Pattinson's Robert Pattinson's performance, as he's a little inexperienced and beats the fuck out of criminals like way more than he needs to. He also doesn't really seem to care about his other persona he has to keep up, Bruce. A couple times in the movie, he says that he really doesn't want to do anything with it. Now I want to talk about Robert Pattinson as Bruce Wayne specifically, because he feels a little off. To give him some credit, someone who lost their parents at a young age would be a pretty recluse, socially inept person. However, he feels a little too emo. I'm thinking of the scene where he comes home after Alfred gets blown up, and he's like fucking shirtless with hair in his face, and he's like listening to Nirvana and shit. The fact that at the beginning of the movie he's listening to Nirvana is a little silly, but it's not bad. Batman's main theme is really cool. It's pretty menacing and dark and really fits with this incarnation of Batman. Catwoman's theme is also pretty sick. It's got like, I don't know how to describe this, like hypnotic strings in it. I don't know, I just saw it as like a reference to Catwoman's theme from Batman Returns, which really hit me in that nostalgia. I realized I skipped over our introduction to the Riddler, so in this movie, the Riddler's like the Zodiac killer, but he's a fucking incel. Okay guys, I kinda fucking get this guy real quick. Bro, if you don't get your Discord mod, Reddit browsing, deflated Calcestis, vector from Despicable Me, no bitches, on the next episode of To Catch a Predator, stupid ass puzzle loving motherfucking ass over here. I had a word with okay, all joking aside, he's a pretty menacing villain. Just like a real deranged person who feels betrayed by the empty promises of Gotham's 1%. It's revealed later in the movie that Thomas Wayne made a trust fund for some orphans, and they were supposed to get a bunch of money, but like a week later, you know, origin story shit happens, and all of Gotham's elite and crime lords came out to grab up all that money. So it leaves all these orphans without money, and one of these orphans is the Riddler, and he's being a little bitch about it. Anyway, he kills some of Gotham's officials because they're corrupt and they took all the money from him, from the trust fund, and it's, you know, a pretty decent plot. Like, it's not that complex, but it doesn't have to be that complex for a Batman movie. And anyway, like, after he kills all these dudes, this is my favorite part of the movie. In this movie, he's actually the world's greatest detective. He actually gets to be a detective, like solving crimes. In a lot of Batman stories, he's just the emo superhero, the antithesis to Mr. Boy Scout Superman. In this movie, he's actually the world's greatest detective. Like, he actually gets to do private investigating, and it's fucking great. From actually being at crime scenes, to solving ciphers in the Batcave, to using the camera contact fucking lenses he has to get intel, it's all fucking great. That doesn't mean that the fight scenes are bad though. Batman really fucking kicks ass in this movie. The highlight for me is when he's in like this dark fucking room because he shut the lights out, and you can only see Batman when he's like getting shot at. Like, the fucking cinematography in that scene is fucking great. I love it. Anyway, at the climax of the movie kind of falls apart. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I mean, what the fuck is this third act? So, the Riddler bombs the city, and it starts to flood. And he knows people will seek shelter at the mayor's the new mayor's speech area, because it doubles as an emergency center. So he gets his fucking Twitch chat to pull up with guns to fucking shoot all the people up. And Batman finds out too late, and the Riddler's like fucking mocking his ass, like, "Ooh, I gave you all the pieces, you should have figured it out." Like, bro, you murdered dudes with a fucking floor remover thingy, and Batman should have just known to pull up your floor. Like, okay, dude, whatever. That was really weird, but I'll let it slide. So Batman's like, "Oh my god, people are gonna die and shit," and he like lets Gordon know, and Gordon heads over there, and Gordon's like, "All right, everybody chillax." He walks up to the mayor. He's like, "Yo, bro, you gotta get your ass out of here. You are gonna get killed." And she's like, "Nah, bro, I'm gonna go talk to these people running away from a flood that's gonna fucking kill them in 10 minutes. Like, bitch, what? Who the fuck is listening to you right now? Everybody's fucking scared for their lives." Like, bro, whatever. You know, those fucking incel motherfuckers on the roof heard your ass, because her ass gets fucking shot. Anyway, Batman shows up, fights these dudes. Catwoman comes up after he gets his ass beat a little bit. She gets her ass beat. He takes some adrenaline and then beats the fuck out of the other dudes. And then he like really beats the fuck out of this dude. Like, he's really fucking angry. And this dude's like, "I am vengeance." And Batman's like, "Oh fuck, that's my line. They used my thing against me." And he like throws a temper tantrum and jumps on this electrical wire thing for no reason. And then he cuts it and falls in the water and saves the city and saves all the wounded people. He's like, "Oh, I'm too fucking violent. I gotta be a symbol for hope." Like, okay, dude. But, yeah, movie's pretty good. I'd give it, 8 out of 10.